Hey everybody, it's James Curcio, again going over World of Traitors, and wanted to update with you with what's going on right now, and with a piece I'm working on right now, which is basically in construction as we speak. I just ran out to the store and got one pig, actually no, this is a cow heart. I decided for a cow heart as opposed to a pig heart because well, pig heart's more akin in size to a human heart, but I wanted something larger so that I could frame it down and get more detail in there since I'm not working with a micro lens. Using a lot of found art objects. I'm going to be building essentially a diorama for one of the pages, or many of the pages inside the book. Coming out of the heart, I don't want to give too much away, but they're going to be wires connected by acupuncture needles to photographs which represent memories. This whole project's about memory. Of course the heart, is an organ that keeps on beating inside of you. It's just muscle, but at the same time it hurts like a motherfucker for some reason whenever emotions overload. I don't know why that's all about, but that's kind of what the symbol gets at. Here's a praying mantis, which of course kills its mate when they mate. I have clippings of the reproductive systems of various insects which do the same, which are going to be attached to the heart. So you can see some of the symbolism that's going into that. These are what are these, badger claws?
Yep.
Yeah, the badger claws, which will probably be ringing the outside of the heart. I'm going to be doing a lot of sewing into heart muscle. I've never done that before, so that's going to be a new thing for me. We're going to be building an enclosure for it, kind of out of these copper wires, so that's like encased within it. And I'm sure it'll be a process of figuring out exactly how to, because this cow heart weighs like 10 pounds, so it's going to be an interesting process of building this particular enclosure. Some of the other enclosures that we have to work with are a little bit more typical in terms of, not having cow hearts inside them. And then a lot of those are going to be integrated in Photoshop digitally with other images and see how it comes along. to continue to follow up on the process of the first diorama that we're building for Woods of Traitors as we continue to fundraise on Indiegogo. As you may know, this is a diorama that's based around cow heart, which is, it still seems like it's fairly frozen, so hopefully that'll thaw soon, or I'm going to have to start getting a little more creative with how I unthaw it. I have a deprivation flower right now, trying to soak up some sweetness. If it doesn't open up, I'm going to go outside. They're night blooming flowers, so usually I can find one blooming if I get it at the right kind of hour, which is usually around 8 and 9 p.m. I've noticed lately. So I'm keeping tabs on that. I found where I can get ivy leaves, which I'm going to be wrapping into the diorama. I just got back from Utrecht Art Supply Store and got to explain to them a little bit of what I'm building. And I think that's probably the one place in the world where they're kind of like, oh, you're building a diorama out of a cow heart, okay. Well, you're going to want to have an inside armature as well as the outside armature. And he gave me a lot of good ideas. I got some copper piping that I'm going to be using on the inside, and I'm going to be wiring that to the copper piping that goes through it. And each cord is going to go to a photograph or a memory, a note from someone from years ago that still kind of hangs on me. I mean, it's all started out with a nightmare, really, for me. And the poor cow has already died, and now he's got to become my proxy and take on the karma of, if you want to call it that, of, all of these different things that are keeping me up at night. And whether or not it works, at least it would be an interesting piece of art. I found this, which I found really interesting. I'm going to be degrading it a bit and then kind of building it to the background. We're going to be building curtains out of this fabric, kind of like an old theater sort of style, hand sewing it. We're going to be hand sewing the heart too, using probably a leather needle, an embroidery thread, as well as copper wire. I might actually, if I get really inventive with it, I might embroider a heart onto the heart. There's plenty of photographs and drawn materials that I have set to be connected to threads that are coming out of the heart, and then more solid cords that are going to be used to splay open the heart. And then inside the heart there's going to be these little vials, each with different things in them, a tooth filings, hair. And while I'm making it, I'm hopefully going to have Jazz film a little bit of the process of building it, so you can see it firsthand, as it's being built. And then I'll move on to the second diorama. Each of them is going to have blank space areas, which I'm going to be using to Photoshop in artwork and incorporate artwork digitally. I have more experience working digitally, honestly, than with my hands. So this is kind of getting back to my roots in a way, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of that with this project.